Okay, let's start. Approaches and methodologies are specific guidelines that help the teaching process based in experiences and also scientific research. And in the way of the ESP courses, we have methodologies that are often used by the tutors around the world, I suppose. But in the most of the cases, those are specific for some subjects or maybe more effective for those. But I suppose that with a good creativity and especially using the branch of the research, we can use most of them, okay? The number one is problem-based learning approach. It is an approach based in the constructivism. This approach focuses specifically in the research only one solution for a problem, a specific problem based in the investigation. So on the students has to participate in this methodology basing its findings in their research, the investigation, and what they really knows about the content. Then we can infer that most of the students are provided with a good and clear way of how the language is used in this approach, and probably pseudo context that will be used during their application in the service process, okay? The methodology number two is case study approach. This study is based equally than the previous in the constructivism, and it focuses especially investigation, but it is quite difficult for another student that probably didn't realize about how to investigate, but avoiding that. It's an open-ended methodology that helps the students to analyze and produce solutions. It's not only to find a solution based on what they will probably result in the research investigation process. It's more than this is act as a participator, act as a servant of the branch of the field that we are studying, and then we can suggest some options to solve the case. Okay, in this case, the results will vary because it's not specific to only one idea. It will be specific for someone that probably, for example, if I send to my students to find information about materials to construct musical instruments, results will vary, okay, because there are a lot of this. But it is especially useful because it's used for branch similar to economics or business or business careers, okay? That's it. Number three, approach number three. It is the CBA and CLIL, okay? Those are quite similar. The difference between them is only referred to the way that the content is received, but in the most of the cases, it's the exposure of content from another subject to improve English. In the case of CBI, is more related with the development of language through our content, okay? It's more used, I suppose, for children, and CLIL, it's centered in develop both language and content simultaneously. It's both are quite similar, and I know that this is the main approach that is suggested in the curriculum, Ecuadorian curriculum of English. I bet that in the future this will be useful for sectors or situations that probably don't need only general English, and they probably need, for example, tourism, English for tourism purposes, or maybe English for electronic purposes in the way of the bachelor, okay? The degree of the bachelor. I don't know, here in Ecuador we have a lot. My bachelor degree is in music, okay? And oh no, I can't remember exactly. I suppose that it is mostly in sciences, but I learned a lot of music during my stage in the high school. And I suppose that if some teacher would like to improve us in the musician field, I suppose that they probably investigate more about how to use the English for music purpose, for example, investigation or designing of another or using of other tools, designing of scores that were used by most of people, and that's it, okay? I suppose that it is interesting approach to generate ESP courses. And next approach is academic literacy approach. This is, I realize that this is the most similar content that I have tasted, because here in my education in the UTP, I realized that teachers send us a lot of activities that need to deep in the academic situation of the grading and the structural investigation. Okay, and this approach focuses on the value of the literature, not specific field, but is more for improve the academic settings and to generate in the student the idea of what will probably happen in the field, in the academic field, that they would like to improve, okay, or they would like to understand for the service purposes or for future services. I don't know. Then this approach can be used with the hand of another approaches, for example, CBI, for example, the previous one, the problem or the case approach, because it is not specifically only designed for some particular environment. So this will be used as an optional on an additional approach that endurances the student in the way of understanding the range. In fact, here in the book, we have some charts with models for questioning the possible grading structure that the student will test. And I suppose that most of us understand that this is quite important, because we don't only want to communicate, we want to be socially accepted and socially competent in what we are going to do, okay? Those are the methodologies, dear professor. Thanks for watching my presentation. And that's it, professors. Have a good day.